Hi everyone, this is Julianne Victoria of Through the Peacock's Eyes. Welcome to my channel. So this video is a hashtag My Religious Decks, which I saw over at Kasha at Tarot Maps channel, and I will link her video down below. But I thought that was an interesting thing to talk about because I have some decks that are, to me at least, very obviously religious based or religion inspired. And then I have a whole bunch of decks where it's sort of maybe religious inspired. But let's talk about the ones that I have currently, because I have had others in the past that I would put in this category. But the ones that I have currently that I would say are my obviously religious decks. Okay, so I have a couple of oracle decks here, so let's start with those. The first one is the Archangel Gabriel Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. I believe she had made oracle decks. She had tons of decks. For each of the archangels. I got this one because I have a special connection to Gabriel or Gabriel, and Archangel Gabriel is the angel of creativity and writing. So that's why I got this deck. So it just has sort of things that Archangel Gabriel can help you with, and a little bit of like advice or a saying at the bottom. But it's all him. It's all Archangel Gabriel. Okay, so you get a feel for that. The other oracle deck I have is another angel deck, and I actually have had other angel decks in the past, but last year, 2019, I did a huge deck purge. The other one I have currently is the original tarot cards. See the creator there. Now, I don't know if these were the original tarot cards, the original angel cards. I don't know if these were the first angel cards ever. That's just the name of this deck. Oh, so inside this box, it comes in this teeny little box there. I don't keep them in that. I put them in this bag so I can like pick one out. I don't use this a whole lot. Neither do I use the Archangel Gabriel cards a lot. I might purge these in my next deck purge. I feel like I need to go through my decks and clean them out soon. But let me just show you a few. So even though it's an angel deck, the adorable teeny little cards just have one word. So obedience, enthusiasm, so a little picture of an angel, expansiveness, an angel in a hot air balloon, beauty. So just a keyword, and sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes you just need a simple message, and you can go from there. So those are my two angel oracle decks that are in my religious decks category. So now on to the tarot. So let's start with the two that to me, right? Because other people may not agree, are religious. And all my religious decks right now are Christian based. It has not always been that way. So this one is the Golden Tarot by Kat Black. I really love this deck. It's like a very well done collage mix of late medieval and I believe early Renaissance artwork from Europe, obviously. And because a lot of that artwork was very Christian and religious based, that's what comes out through the deck. So let me show you some of the cards. So here we have the Magician. I always think of Jesus or Saint Francis with this. Sometimes it depends on the reading. And so some of the cards aren't obviously religious, but here we have an angel with the Ace of Wands. The Hierophant, of course, the High Priestess. I mean, it's like a bishop's hat there. And I nearly always, I think always pull this deck out in December, especially as we approach Christmas, and use it for my readings then, because to me, this is a Christian deck. Even if not every image has a Christian theme or scene, and it's probably a lot because of the artwork that's used. But yeah, this is my Christmas time and Christian deck. And especially like the Wheel of Fortune, well, the Empress, Mother Mary and Jesus. Of course, it's going to be the last card, right? The Wheel of Fortune is, there's more angels, is baby Jesus in the manger. It's hiding. And there we go. So to me, this is a Christian religious deck. And yeah, I absolutely love using it around Christmas time. It just seems to fit. Okay. My other very obviously religious tarot deck is the Great Bible Tarot. At first glance, this deck can seem like a system-free tarot deck, and about a week ago or so I made a video on my system-free tarot decks, but to me it is very much Rider-Waite-Smith inspired and created. Okay, so let me show you some of these cards. The writing is a little bit hard to read because it has sort of that, it's that font with sort of the shadow effect, but it actually makes it look kind of blurry. Okay, but let's take a look at the cards. So we have the Three of Pentacles, and it's building of the temple. That's hard for me to read on screen because it is a little bit blurry. They are big cards. The Ace of Pentacles, Ark of the Covenant. The Nine of Cups, the Last Supper. The Ace of Swords, God Almighty. So, I mean, obviously this is, it's called the Great Bible Tarot. It's a religious deck. Ten of Cups, Return of the Prodigal Son. Death, the Fourth Horseman of the Apocalypse. Eight of Cups, Jacob goes to the Egypt. That's what it says. Jacob goes to the Egypt. That might be a typo there. I just hadn't noticed that before. And the Hanged Man, obviously, darkness over all the earth, Jesus on the cross. So that is I mean, I bought this one because it was a very Christian deck, because I was curious, and for like my husband's family, not that they probably ever would ask, but if someone asked for a reading, I got this because I thought, this might be an interesting deck to use. But because so much is based on the Old Testament, there's a lot of like war and violence too. So I don't know, but it's a very interesting deck. Okay, so this whole idea of religious decks got me thinking, because to me, and I think many people, the tarot is a tool of Christian mysticism, or sometimes it's referred to as Christian hermeticism. And so there's an element of religion for me within tarot no matter what. And then there's, of course, tarots that are based on or are influenced by Kabbalah. To me, that's bringing in, that's Jewish mysticism. And so there's a religious influence, even though it's the mystical side, not the dogmatic side of religion. So there, to me at least, there is an element, an undercurrent, sometimes more than one undercurrent of religion in the tarot. Now, much less with more modern decks. I mean, even decks I've created, there's not necessarily a religious element to it. But as I was looking through all my decks, I thought, well, that has Kabbalah, or just thinking the Hierophant in every deck is a religious element. Looking through the journey of the major arcana, you can call it the journey of the Fool, but it's also a journey of the soul. You could sort of say it's a journey through the dark night of the soul. So there is a religious thread or threads through many, not all of course, tarot decks for me. So I just pulled out my RWS here, and this one is the original tarot. And maybe you can't see it there, but of course there's the Hierophant, and that this strong religious presence in the deck. The Lover is sometimes seen as Adam and Eve. We have the snake. There's the symbolism of Christian Christian mysticism or Hermeticism. I can't talk. It's been a really hot and humid and smoky day because California is full of wildfires. So I have a little scratchy throat as well, if you're wondering. You know, we have the angels, the devil, the tower. Oh, that reminds me, the tower in many older decks and occasionally in a newer deck like Le Tarot Noir, the tower card is called the House of God, usually in French, the House of God. So there's that religious element threaded through, especially our WS system, but also Thoth, and you know, this is Tarot de Marseille. Yeah, there's a bit too many decks, and especially the three main systems. And again, many modern decks don't have any, like my Scrying Poetry Tarot doesn't have any religious thread in it at all. But yeah, it's hard to separate religion or religious influence from the tarot completely. And that got me thinking. I wanted to pull out this book, Meditations on the Tarot, A Journey into Christian Hermeticism. It's the author's anonymous. Does it even say that? I think it says anonymous somewhere. But this big, thick book is the author's letters to the 22 major arcana. And so I'm on the tower. I've had this book for a long time. I just read it in sections when I feel called to go deeper into a specific card. So you can see it's like letter to the Tower of Destruction, you know. Yeah, so this is explaining the Christian mysticism in the major arcana of the tarot. So yeah, I think I'm just philosophizing, waxing philosophical here to you guys while looking at my religious decks. But those are my 5, what I would say is obviously religious decks at this point in time. But I have dozens of decks where I would say there is, you know, the element of Christian mysticism woven in, or Kabbalah, a Jewish mysticism, even, you know, the Vedas, Hinduism. I have the Sacred India Tarot. Well, maybe I should have pulled that out. Sacred India Tarot as well. It's based on the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and the life of Buddha. I was just recently using those for my dailies, so you can check those out on my community tab. Actually, I'm going to go grab it right now. Okay, so I have my Sacred India Tarot. I'll just show you some of the cards. So this is based on Hinduism, the Mahabharata, the life of Buddha as well. So you could say there's some Buddhism in here. I'll show you these cards. That's Kali. And it's by suit, like Pentacles is the life of Buddha. And then the Ramayana and Mahabharata are the swords and wands. And the cups are the story of Shiva and Parvati, which is really, really beautifully put together. You know, temperance. Oh, and there's extra cards like the blessing of Ganesha, and there's a blessing of Babaji. High Priestess is Saraswati. So that's the Sacred India Tarot. Can't believe I forgot about these. I've just been using them. And then I also have, so this is Sacred India, and this is Sacred Indian Tarot. This one is a majors only. It's more philosophical than mythological, but still it's based on Hinduism. Judgment, so Jyoti, the Hermit, Rishi. These don't slide so well. The Wheel of Fortune, Dharma, the Chariot, yeah, Rat, and so on. So those are those two. And since I pulled those out, I thought I'd pull out also my Mudras Oracle deck. though this is more yoga. I tie them together. So it's just, it has the chakras, but it has all different mudras. So a great tool actually if you're trying to learn the mudras, or you want a mudra, you know, pull a card, oh, okay, let me work on increasing more harmony, and I'm going to do the mudra every day in meditation or whatever it is. Okay. All right. Those are my religious decks. Okay, I hope you found this interesting. It was definitely a rambly video. It's been a long, hot, humid, and smoky last few days. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching. Share this, hop on the hashtag, and I'll see you back here soon.